Hey, welcome to February. It's the first day of February in the illustrious year of 2017, and we are here with episode 172 of the 359 podcast starring Ben Fox, Ruben, and Roger Chang. Good morning, everybody. What is on the docket for today?
Morning. No surprise, we're going to be talking about Apple.
Yep.
Again, yes.
Bye,
Apple.
everybody.
Bye, everybody. Wait. Initiate your Apple hate comments.
There you go.
Now.
Apple blew away expectations with earnings. There's no such thing as phone fatigue, I guess. People just can't get enough of the iPhone. Record sales.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Maybe not this quarter, but
We'll
soon enough.
also talk about Amazon and their new air cargo hub and why we should care. I hope this just means that I'm going to get stuff faster and cheaper.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And lastly, we'll be talking about Nintendo and whether or not Super Mario Run ran away with our hearts.
Stick around, everybody. It's going to be a lively one.
Yep. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. Brian will pick out the best, and we will answer them in 4 minutes or less.
Let's do it.
Stick around. We'll get this recording out of the way, and we'll see you guys in the chat. Shout out to Thailand. Shout out to Kenya. Shout out to everybody joining us from all around the world this morning.
Nice.
And we'll talk to you in just 3 minutes and 59 seconds from 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day and other crap we throw. Why did I screw that up? And
Just keep going, man.
Dan was looking at me weird.
Just
and that
keep
just threw
going.
me up. All right, let me just do that again.
Work it.
Sorry, guys. It's only been
In 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day and all the other crap we want to throw in. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Ruben.
So much for iPhone fatigue. Despite the fact that the iPhone 7 looks pretty much like the previous two models, customers couldn't get enough. Apple sold 78.3 million iPhones, snapping a three-quarter streak of declines. In fact, the bigger iPhone 7 Plus was particularly popular. And really, the numbers are just staggering here. $18 billion in profit, $78.4 billion in revenue. Wow, just a blowout quarter all around.
Records.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is pretty impressive. It's not utterly surprising. I remember with the iPhone 6, everybody was like falling off of their chairs because the numbers were like absolutely outrageous. So that continues to be the really, really big blockbuster quarter. But this is still really great.
Yeah, the huge jump was obviously attributed to the fact that it was a big leap from iPhone 5S to 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bigger phone, new design, new features. There wasn't that huge upgrade with the 6S to the 7, right?
And yet they still sold a ton of them. And they continued to show some pretty strong strength. what is it? Profits were actually a little bit down because I think
They were
that
down.
operating expenses were higher.
Yes, but on a per share basis, actually, it was still
Oh man, we are getting
we're
business
getting,
wonky.
We're getting pretty wonky. But from an earnings on a per share basis, they did extremely well. They actually topped expectations and topped records. So overall, really good year. And I mean, you mentioned service. It's not just the iPhone, right? Services.
The services business I've been paying attention to. That's been a bright spot for them. Services include Apple Care, iTunes, and that's been growing
Apple
pretty
Music.
impressively. Yeah, Apple Music,
Yep.
Apple Pay also. It was up 18% year over year in the past quarter. And
Right.
this is while the iPad sales continue to really be sinking. So
Yeah, I mean,
services, pay attention to
there's
that.
been, there's always this talk of the three legs, right? Where it's iPhone, Mac, iPad. It looks like actually Macs are doing okay.
Services.
Yeah, it looks like with iPads syncing, with no one really caring about iPads anymore, services sort of picked up the slack. So
Yeah. Good for them. Next, Amazon plans to build out its first ever air cargo hub in Kentucky, spending $1.5 billion to make it. This shows that they're really ambitious about expanding their shipping and logistics. Good news for you, Roger. This means you're going to get stuff even faster than before. That's why you should care about.
yeah,
something like this.
how's that affect me? Like, does that mean that I'm gonna get more options for Prime, or like
I
are
think
things
the
gonna
idea-
come even faster than 2 days? Or?
If anything, it'll at least ensure that things won't slow down. Amazon
Okay.
continues to have this problem where they just have mountains and mountains and mountains of more stuff that's getting shipped 2-day shipping through Prime. That's like their blockbuster service. And to make sure that they're gonna keep going with that, they need to do something like this. Also, we wanted to get to Nintendo. They said Super Mario Run had 78 million downloads,
Wow.
but a mere 5% of users coughed up the $10 to get the full version of the game. That's well below what the company expected. They got my $10 though.
They got mine too.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is, it's sort of a one-time pop, right? Like, I don't even play that game anymore. I don't know anyone who does.
I
So
don't.
if they were hoping for new users to keep trying it, I don't know if that's really the case, right? Because everyone sort of moved on to the next game.
Yeah, I guess so. They still made $53 million from it so
but it's sort of
far.
like a one-time bump, right? Like,
Right.
it's not like people are going to keep paying to play that game.
No. But we'll see if they keep, as they build out their mobile portfolio,
Yep.
maybe that'll keep expanding. I hope they do. But
Yeah,
it
I mean,
wasn't as much as I think they were
they
hoping.
they definitely make slick games. I do hope they continue with their mobile initiative. Super Mario Run was good, but it did have a shelf life to it.
Yeah.
All right. For more of these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
And thanks to everybody for sticking around in the chat. We're going to jump right in because Matthew in the chat has said, nothing Apple has done has blown me away for quite a while.
Yes.
And he's not alone.
Sounds like he's
Yeah.
been listening to the podcast because we certainly would agree with that. As far as innovation is concerned, we've heard from a lot of longtime Microsoft people that they really like a lot of like what Microsoft has been doing lately related to innovation and what have they done?
I brought this up on Twitter yesterday. And it turned out to be a bit of a controversial topic. Like, I made the point that last year, if you looked at some of the companies that did try to go out on a limb with innovation, LG and Motorola with sort of modular phones,
Mhm.
those phones didn't do very well. Apple comes in, basically takes the same body, adds in a bunch of new upgraded internal parts, but it's essentially the same phone, and it does gangbusters, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
what does that say for our need? We're constantly talking about the need for innovation and new things, but
People like familiarity.
people like familiarity. They're
Right.
comfortable with what they
Don't
know.
listen to your customers or pundits, apparently.
I mean, like, we'll see how long that lasts, right? That whether that familiarity lasts, that kind of that factor, will people like tolerate the fact that it's the same phone year after year?
Yeah.
And it probably won't be. Obviously, I think Apple is going to have a big upgrade for the iPhone 8 or iPhone X or whatever the hell.
And there are a lot of very obvious upgrades that they could do. A lot of the
Right.
rumors that we're hearing about that it's just like the entire front of it is going to be an all glass
Yeah.
display. They're going to get rid of the home button.
Right.
So there are quite a few things that I think fans would really be excited about.
But even
as
that
far
on
as
paper
changing
sounds
that.
underwhelming. It's like, ooh, one less button.
I think that would make the phone look really interesting, and you would get a much bigger screen.
It's
Yeah.
better
for
than
the
what they've
size of the
done
phone.
as of late. I'll give you that
Absolutely.
much. But it's still kind of like,
You know what though?
That's an
I think
interesting
that's-
argument. I think
that's
people would like go crazy if they see a
Really?
phone that's
For
all
ju- that much
display.
just
Well,
for the
look,
front?
I
Call,
think that-
call out to the chat. Would you be excited about that all glass
I think
front
no. I
innovation?
think that's going to be the trend for this year. You're seeing it with what we've seen with the leaks with LG. I think Samsung's kind of rumored to do the same thing. Everyone's we saw it with the Xiaomi Mi Mix already.
Yeah.
The big trend this year will be kind of ditching the home button, the physical home button in the front, and getting bigger glass, rounded glass. That seems to be, for whatever reason, people are really obsessed, or the manufacturers are really obsessed with like the rounded glass screen. I don't know if that really makes a huge
Which
difference.
Samsung started off with, and now
No,
everybody else
not
is jumping
it's not the
onto.
edge.
Not-
It's not
yeah.
an
Oh.
edge. It's just sort of like a round glass screen, like with rounded edges. That's it. That's sort of like the idea of it. It sort of creates this like seamless look to the bezel.
Like an infinity pool,
Kind of.
something
But
of
not
that
quite.
nature.
I tell you what, Apple's been innovating. Their accounting books.
Oh yeah. They're the profits just keep going up higher and higher.
And that's coming from a couple of people who are slightly underwhelmed. Hey, Matthew also says he's interested to see what they're going to do with the next watch.
Yeah, I think that
What?
that's gonna come.
They make
I
a
think
watch?
That's gonna come soon. You know what though? Tim Cook made a lot of positive comments, basically saying
Mhm.
like record sales on Apple Watch, couldn't make enough of those things for the holiday season.
I'm always
I don't know.
skeptical when they don't actually provide the numbers.
I know.
I
By
I
record, they
appreciate
meant
him
they
saying
sold
that.
5 instead of 4 last year.
I've certainly seen a lot more Apple Watches out there.
Yeah.
More like, regular people that aren't like super tech obsessed.
Definitely during the holidays,
Absolutely
I
have
saw
them.
like a handful of my relatives had them. These are non-techie people. They had their Apple Watches. They were using it like normal. So it's starting to get out there.
Yeah, it is. You know what I'm actually seeing a lot more of? Like surprisingly, are the AirPods.
I was gonna say the Gear S3, which
Yeah, the
nobody
Gear
has.
No, you see, and it's partly because the AirPods are, this new look, so
Yeah.
they're very easy to identify.
Yeah.
I actually
I haven't seen
asked
one
some
yet.
guy on the train yesterday. I was like, "Yo, you've got AirPods. What do you think of them?" And he was like, "I just got them today. Sorry, I can't tell you anything yet." And I was like, "Fine, I'll
Just
find you later."
you know what? If you asked him tomorrow, he's like, "I've already lost them. I'm
He's
sorry.
like, I don't know
I'm
where
sorry.
they
dude.
went.
I can't give
I
you a
should
good
have
review."
gotten Apple Care on them.
So back in the chat, David says if they put an all glass display in, I'm ditching my SE for an 8.
Okay. All right.
And following up, Phone King says yes, all glass, 5.8-inch screen.
So I don't think it's gonna be all glass. Like it's almost physically impossible. But I'm willing to bet there's gonna be like a very thin frame around it. I think it'll look nice, but it's not gonna be like this
I think
It's
that's a
awesome
manufacturing
all-glass.
flaw. If they try to truly make it all glass, you're just
all glass
asking
front. Yeah.
for trouble.
Yeah.
So this is also
And we're still
something.
going to put a case on it.
This is also more speculative, but with the iPhone 7, obviously this is the biggest quarter that they always have is their first quarter.
Yeah.
But what is going to happen in the next 3 quarters? For the previous year, those sales kept sinking, even though their
Yep.
first quarter last year was better than the one before that.
Right.
So first quarter is always good, but we have to pay attention to what happens the rest of the year. If
Especially
it's not
leading
as
up to the
good,
event.
I definitely
Right.
think we're going to see a repeat of last year where sales will decline year over year. Just because, everyone hears the rumors about this super awesome new iPhone that's coming out.
Mhm.
And that was the same expectation that was built in last year. And then it ended up being the iPhone 7. But this year, I mean, even Apple has sort of telegraphed, like, this is the big upgrade. This is the big 10-year
So
anniversary.
anybody that can wait will probably
Yeah.
wait. So you're not
Yeah.
going to see. So there
And
is still phone
again,
fatigue.
a lot of this depends on upgrade cycles, right? People, it's not like I can turn around and just go and buy an iPhone right now. Like if I'm like most people, I'm on a contract or some sort of 2-year program that allows me to upgrade after that time. And
Mhm.
so I can't upgrade now anyway. So that's why sales tend to drop. You'll see come for fiscal first quarter for Apple or the holiday quarter for us. People are going to have their contracts up and they're just going to start upgrading, regardless of whether or not the phone is the end all be all, if it's just this awesome all glass miracle, or it could just be like a
Just
very
keep making the same phone.
yeah, it could just be the
They'll
same
just
phone.
keep making
People
it.
will buy it. People will upgrade because they're kind of locked in, right? They're like, well, I have an iPhone. I'm used to my iPhone. I mean, this new one isn't that new, but this one's getting old, so I'm going to upgrade, right?
Yeah.
Right? After 2 years, you're going to want to upgrade your phone, right? Things just in general don't run as well as they used to.
In general. I have an iPhone 6. I put a new battery in it. It works just as good. I don't really like what is it called? Force Touch or
Yeah, 3D Touch.
3D Touch?
Force Touch is for the watch.
Or for Star
It's
Wars.
just exhausting. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep this iPhone 6 for now. We'll see what happens in September.
Oh, poor Phone King in the chat. Apple Watch with a SIM card. Sorry, sir.
I think it will happen.
No,
it
it won't.
could happen.
It will totally
But
happen.
then you're
No,
going to
it
have to get a plan for
Oh my God,
it. You're
no,
going to have
it
to
absolutely
pay.
will happen. It's just not going to happen right away.
It won't happen for years.
No. It'll happen in like a year, if
Think
not,
so?
if not sooner.
I think
Apple
Verizon and T-Mobile
absolutely
would love that.
Oh, everyone wants. Apple absolutely wants to have a completely independent watch.
They're gonna wait. Okay, here's what it's gonna happen. They're gonna wait until CBS launches their new Star Trek show, so that they can do a communicator sponsorship tie-in.
Oh God,
Very nice synergy right there.
There we go.
Brought to you.
That's a
by
joke,
Les
by the
Moonves.
way.
That is a
That is
joke.
a joke.
That is
not
not
doing that. Apple's not paying our salaries. I have to clarify that once again.
Wait.
Thanks, Brian.
Wait, but CBS is paying our salaries.
But Apple is not. Let's make that clear. No, look, they absolutely want. Everyone in the industry wants a SIM card in their watch. The only problem is battery life and the size of the watch. It's just too bulky right now. It doesn't look great, right? This has a SIM card.
Ugh.
It's kind of bulky. My arms are a little frail, so this looks kind of weird on my. But Apple, I think Apple's cognizant of that, and I think they're waiting for the designs, the technology to shrink down so it can actually get.
And we will
smaller,
get
more
there.
powerful. Yeah, we will.
Not
And
to
I
worry,
think-
Phone King.
And I think it's going to be sooner than a couple of years. It's if not next year, maybe even later this year.
Meanwhile, the tablets are kind of out in no man's land. However, interesting perspective from Hui Lang. iPad sale is so flat because it's so good. 3-year-old iPad is still better than the most current Android tablet.
No, that's
Ooh,
true. There's no need
very
to upgrade.
nice.
That's the thing, right? It's not like an iPhone where we've got 2
Which
years
is why
to
Apple's
upgrade.
tearing their hair out. No,
Right.
we need to make it crappier.
It's like
it needs to break after 2 years.
they they combust basically.
They are going to just start putting like miniature explosives in there
Right.
and following the Samsung
But
plan.
you're seeing what they're doing, right? They're trying to make it bigger. They're trying to make it smaller. They're adding a
Add a
stylus.
add
like
a keyboard.
all these features that no one cares about. Any of that stuff.
What is a comparable premium tablet? Because as a commenter mentioned, what other tablets are out there as far as like that top tier?
Top tier. I mean,
It's-
Samsung was
in
in the game
itself,
for a little
it's-
while, but
Yeah,
no one. I
but it's
don't
really
know.
if you want to. I mean, you're gonna pay for it, but
Right.
if you want top tier tablet, you've got Apple, and that's basically
Well, I
it.
mean, part of
and
the
you're gonna
problem-
keep it for like 3, 4,
in
5 years.
in my
maybe more.
experience, the biggest market for tablets is your annoying kids at the dinner table.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes, but I use Amazon tablets because if they fling them across,
That's okay.
you could just pay another $50 and get a new one. I'm not giving them an iPad.
I mean, look, the other factor with iPad sales is, the PC, like Windows 10 has sort of come back up, right? People are buying laptops with touchscreens that can fold into tablets, so why get an iPad?
Precisely.
Yeah.
I thought
That's a
that was
good
kind of
point.
an inevitable thing.
Right.
Like the tablet was a fun idea, but it was lacking. And now that they can make the tablet itself a little more robust, a little more well-rounded, the experience goes broader,
Right.
I guess.
I don't know. I like
that
that.
would attract me more.
I like the iPad for what it is. I watch movies on it. I play
Yeah.
a couple games, browse the internet.
Read a book.
Yeah, that's it. And then, but I don't feel the need to upgrade because the tasks are so simple.
Yeah.
Right. I have one, and I don't need to get a new one every year, 2 or 3 years even.
You know
Which-
what? Another premium tablet that I didn't mention is the Surface. But
Right,
it
of course.
kind
Of
of,
course,
it
yeah,
kind of fits into the laptop world
That
as well.
sort of for me that falls in that same category of PC hybrids.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
David wants to follow up with that. Is when do you think Apple will update the iPad?
The iPad.
In general,
When
no
was the
specific
last
lineup, no
update?
Pro, Air, whatever. Take your pick.
I would say.
They are overdue.
Yeah, I would say early this year.
When was the big iPad Pro's upgrade cycle?
Well, a year ago,
That
there
was about a year ago.
They introduced a smaller iPad Pro,
okay.
and then the original iPad Pro was, I think, the fall of the year before, 2014.
Unless they
2015.
make it like foldable and I can stick it in my pocket.
I'm willing to bet probably sometime first quarter, early second quarter, we might see an update to the
Yeah.
Apple Watch and the iPad.
In the comments, we got to wrap it up soon, but drop your ideas about what you think the innovations coming for the iPad and the watch might be coming down the line.
And
Is
the
this
phone, really.
Sure, the phone, but
Yeah.
we've already talked about the
Yeah.
phone in detail. I'm curious to see where people will take it with the tablet and the watch. We got people asking for a camera in the watch.
Samsung tried that the first year.
That just seems awkward. I don't know.
I know Scott Stein had it around the office, and he ran in my office and snapped a photo of me, and it just was like the creepiest moment ever. I was like, "That's not cool."
And
You know
you
what I would
already
like to
know
see
me.
is better remote capability. So you put your phone on a tripod on the other side of the room. I need to take a selfie, like a quality selfie.
And be able to do it with
Beep,
your
beep.
watch.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, but that's an app.
Yeah,
I mean, like, or
true.
that's a software upgrade.
Absolutely.
You don't need a new piece of hardware.
But to my
for
knowledge,
something
that doesn't
like
exist as of yet.
I
don't,
maybe I don't know.
I haven't tried that.
I don't have a watch.
I don't use.
I haven't tried the
smartwatch.
Apple
I
Watch.
don't
since
have
the
a
update,
watch.
so,
Yeah, no, neither do I.
uh,
Only Skinny Arms McGee over here.
That's right.
All right, let's wrap it up there, but
All
not
right, that's
before
okay.
a special shout out and dedication
Yeah.
to our man in the chat, Christian, who after 172 episodes of the 359 has submitted no less than a baker's dozen of "I want to punch Roger Chang in the face"
Yes!
comments.
Thank
you are
you,
officially
Christian.
the hero
Thank you,
of the
Christian.
359
Our favorite
podcast.
troll.
If I'm on the streets and someone punches me in the face,
Well, no, it's you.
No,
We're
it's you.
calling
I'll
the
give
cops.
him a high five.
all right, if you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on cnet.com. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Feedburner, and Google Play Music.
And you already said cnet.com.
We had such a good rhythm going.
I know. We'll see you all tomorrow. Hopefully we won't screw it up as much as today.
Okay.
Later, everybody.